Practice makes perfect. Okay. We're going to do an overall general cover of footwork, posture, and leg position. This is going to include distance apart of the feet and angles of the feet. And the best way to start out when you are trying to find your comfort zone with your feet. So, first step. Finding a comfortable foot position to begin with. I made a little X on the floor. This makes it particularly easy. Stand in the back corner. Step out comfortably. Step up comfortably. Easiest way to find your body's going to take yourself to a naturally comfortable position. Let's see if I can change this a little. Yes, beautiful. All right. So, again, both feet in the back corner. Just take a lazy step out and then a lazy step forward. Right now I'm in an orthodox stance. My left leg is forward, my right leg is back. Orthodox means my power comes in my right hand and my right leg. We can get more into orthodox and traditional later. Now, one thing you always, when you're in the ring, when you're in practice, when you're thinking about being in the ring or in practice, you are always going to be in the balls of your feet. Always, 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 always. My favorite fighter that I've ever trained with was a guy named Kiyoichi Katsuwake. He was a Japanese guy who fought in Japan and Thailand, and I have sparred UFC champions, and I can honestly say this guy's stand-up was a level I've never experienced. And he did the coolest thing. If this was the ground before the mat, the flooring, and here was the mat, he didn't know he did this, but he would step on his heel, ball of his foot. His heels would not touch the ground for the next hour. I tend to keep 2 folded pieces of paper under my heel. That's about how much distance I have. It becomes pretty natural and comfortable. All right, so back to here for practice. Step 1, step 2. Pulls the feet. Up or down, story, got it. I can't read my own note. This is not helpful. All right, well, I'm going to wing it. So, you'll find leg position to change drastically depending on the style of the fighter. If they're a serious boxer, you're going to see a lot of distance between their front leg and their back leg. Okay? If you find a Muay Thai fighter who's been classically trained, his feet are going to be narrow. He's going to be mounting his feet a little bit, because that allows for much faster kicks. If you find a wrestler, they're normally going to combine wrestling with boxing because they can share fairly similar stances. So the two tend to work together pretty well, and if I throw strikes to your head, usually leave your lower body open. I grew up doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, so this is how I started. But with time, I found my comfort zone was much closer to a wrestler's position. I tend to have my back foot fairly forward. Why? I'm a midget. I need to move forward quickly, and that's hard to do with an excessively long stance or an excessively narrow stance. So I get about halfway in between, and this will segue into our next goal. Foot position. Almost always aim your front foot at your target. It'll work out pretty well. Second one, back foot position. you're going to see 3 positions essentially. And they're actually going to tell you a lot about what this guy's going to do. Now, if you see him out like this, they are going to be a stationary boxer, and they're going to let you do the movement, but then try and punish you for getting into their space. For me, I don't actually go here. This is a really good Muay Thai stance. That back leg angle allows just enough hip turn to move in quickly while letting you get decent punches. That makes sense. Let's see. Last one forward. This is the one that's almost me most of the time. If you see 2 feet really forward, they are coming straight for you and wrestling you, end of story. Because they are planning on moving off the balls of both of their feet very quickly to go forward especially. Reason this back foot out has a lot of value. When you come in, if I'm being stationary and trying to punish you with power, when you come in, my hip has to make a lot of movement. So that large movement generates a lot of momentum and a lot of power when they're throwing their big cross. Also, that back foot being out allows you to generate, your hips are nice and open, so you can come in for a really big hook. So if they come close to you, you just make them hurt. For me, the strategy that goes around my feet is I'm a pretty springy guy, so I tend to close the distance and then try and punish you enough that you back up and I can strike you a few times on the way out, or if you move towards me, then I can get into a comfort zone for grappling. On Muay Thai, you're also going to see their feet bouncing like this because their legs can come up more quickly. All right, next thing, distance of your upper body. How folded or unfolded are you? So, Mexican boxers are going to kind of stand heavy, fairly bent. Here. I tend to stand just a little bit less bent than that. I mean marginal. A really Muay Thai guy is going to get way up on his feet. A wrestler is going to get about here. There's a shocking amount of detail that goes into the footwork. I am telling you this ahead of time so it's in your brain for when I give you different drills. The sole value of this video is I want you to play with it. I want you to move around, feel the different stuff. Do what things you know with those different foot positions and feel and understand what's going on. It'll make it much easier when I'm teaching you something to actually make progress to where we wanted to go. I think we covered it all. All right. Good foot position video, I think.